and welcome back to the Cover 3 podcast here on CBS Sports. That's Tom Fornelli, that's Bud Elliott, that's Danny Kanell. I'm Chip Patterson, coming to you live at youtube.com/cover3 and everywhere you get your podcasts on demand. Thanks for hanging out. Smash that subscribe, smash that like, and come and join us in the chat, a.k.a. the Cover 3 tailgate, where the locks are just flowing. We've got an over-under right now on the board in the tailgate, 4.5 lock fights. Are we going over? Are we going under? I think the smart money might be over because we got a lot of locks to get to. Yes, we are going to be giving you our locks for week 0. Just a 5-game slate. We'll see how many locks, but we are also giving you our very best bets when it comes to the win totals. So we will circle back to some of the win totals that we have already discussed in the win total series from the 4 power conferences. We are also going to be adding to the card some of our favorites from the group of 6 and the independents. And speaking of, we did promise them a little bit. As a matter of stance, we all agree where we are team join a conference when it comes to our stance on Notre Dame, right? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Preferably the ACC, but just saying.
Everyone's got their own preferable landing spots, but I figured that we should call in the voice of the best general manager in college football one last time for one last win total analysis. So are y'all ready to count them up?
Let's do it.
Do it.
As much as I think it's the under is a safe play, like I can't even.
Count them up. Count them up. How many games are going to win this fall?
I can't fathom 8 wins.
How many games are going to win this fall?
I just can't. I don't see it. It's not on there. It's not the schedule I'm looking at. Unless there's another schedule somewhere.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish, coming off of being the national runner-up, have an over-under win total at FanDuel Sportsbook of 10.5. Heavy juice under, plus 128 to the over, minus 158 to the under. We have a schedule that, as we've discussed throughout the analysis of the quarterback battle, it starts at Miami on a Sunday night in week 1. Then you've got a week to sort of collect your emotions, win or lose. Then it's Texas A&M. Then it's Purdue. One road trip to Arkansas, then Boise, NC State, USC, home. Another off week. Then you're at Boston College, home Navy, at Pitt, home Syracuse, then at Stanford. So extremely manageable back half of the schedule. But when you've got a win total of 10.5, you need to be confident that we're not going to have many pitfalls at all. DK, going to throw this one to you first. What is your lean here? We'll find out if there's a lock later when looking at this win total and this schedule for the now CJ Carr-led Fighting Irish.
So I've kind of had a theory that I've tried to follow with most teams that have new quarterbacks and a lot of question marks across the board. I know CJ Carr named the starter, so that's good news for Notre Dame. Get some stability there, going down to Miami, figuring out who's going to be under center. But I know the schedule is super easy. This also is a team that lost to Northern Illinois last year. I'm going to go under. I think the Miami game is tricky. The A&M game is tricky. And then it's like, all right, where would you find another potential loss? Watch out for USC coming to South Bend. That could be a tricky one. That's going to be Boise State's Super Bowl as well. We saw what they did last year against Oregon. I know it's in South Bend, but I still think that one could be tricky as well. Plus, I just think there's going to be another slip up. So I got them at 10-2, which I know we'll probably discuss a lot, is then what does that mean for the playoff? Is that good enough? At 10-2 would be who have you beaten if you've got 2 losses versus, 2 of those teams that are pretty good. Who are the teams you've beaten then? I think will be a fascinating debate, but I've got them just under at 10-2.
Up, Bud.
Up.
Well, didn't take long.
We're better?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm actually right on market here. That's not really the sexy answer, but we try not to just have strong opinions on every single team. I don't know that I love Carr being the starting quarterback here. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Minchie play some this year. Some of the roadies are a little tricky, I guess, but I'm not real high on Arkansas. I went under on Boston College, fairly neutral to Pitt. Stanford, I'd be surprised if they have a whole lot of ability to withstand the potential attrition to an already thin roster. So, like, mathematically, I am slightly under, but it's not something I'm betting.
I'm highly conflicted here because
Ooh.
I'm incredibly angry that we're doing this. We're not doing a UConn win total, so why the hell does Notre Dame get special treatment again? But I don't know if you guys saw the logos this morning that Notre Dame released. Those are awesome. I love the leprechaun holding the football. So I'm going over for no reason other than I really love that logo. And also because I think that Notre Dame can split the Miami, Texas A&M start and then reasonably run the table from that point on. I understand the questions at QB. I think that'll be I think it'll be a problem early. I don't know if it'll be a problem late. I think talent-wise, this is still one of the best teams in the country. It's going to be the more talented team just about every single week it's on the field. A road trip to Arkansas is going to be tricky. Boise State at home, I guess, could be tricky, although we saw Boise State when they were playing in the playoff last year. It wasn't, like they were playing the Mountain West anymore. USC at home, I'm down on USC. The end of the year, Stanford, who knows what kind of condition that team will even be in by the time that game is played. I think 11-1 is likely. I think 10-2 is likely. I think 12-0 is likely. I think those are the only three realistic records that Notre Dame is going to finish the season with. So I'm slightly over. This is not a bet, but I would like a shirt with the new logo on it.
The one of all right. So
dude, I'll change my pick. Get a T-shirt out of it.
we will be bought 100%. So he's holding the football. The leprechaun's holding the football. A great my from Ty from the Solid Verbal. He said we're practicing ball security. Like he's good fingers on the point of the football. Because my first reaction was we're not fighting anymore. You've taken the fight out of the Fighting Irish. Could be
that's a 15-yard penalty, Chip.
I know it's a lot of smart decisions. I mean, first Marcus Freeman decides he's going to embrace analytics, right? He told us that, and that we're embracing analytics. We're practicing ball security. We're not trying to get penalties. It's just truly a new era, an academically enlightened era of Notre Dame football.
There we go. Look at that thing.
Oh, that is pretty sweet.
Go.
It's being received way better than Cracker Barrel's new one too.
Oh my God! What is Cracker Barrel doing?
No idea.
Like your Cracker Barrel, the Cracker Barrel. That's why people like going to you.
It's everyone there has accepted what's going on at that establishment. Of course, in terms of the actual win total here, I am again, like y'all said, not rushing to bet it. I think that splitting the first two games seems about right. I am not confident enough to say they will definitively win both of those games, but also, I mean, there are enough potentially tricky spots that I could think they could pick up another one. Danny, I think if they split the first two, then 10-2 at any 10-2 gets you into the playoff. To your earlier question, like as long as you get one of those first two and you are 10-2 by the end of it, I'd say that's probably a good enough record to get you into the college football playoff. I had Notre Dame in my college football playoff projections, but I do see just too many spots along the way. I mean, listen, Notre Dame, you want to talk about luck of the Irish. Boston College could have made that the red bandana game. Mm-hmm. Oh, that could have been tough. But red bandana will be November 8th, the very next week for the Eagles. If there is a spot in the final 10 games of the season where you might have that WTF loss, which Notre Dame has been known to do from time to time, even in last year's amazing season. You've got the Northern Illinois defeat. If there was one game, what is it going to be?
At Pitt?
Maybe.
At Pitt.
Well, the Pitt style of defense is like conducive to playing pretty high variance games. If you're not an elite college quarterback, they can kind of eat you up because they make you make really quick decisions. If you are, the way that Pitt plays it, they kind of just tip your cap. Cool, you're better than what we can throw at you. So Pitt's got enough weapons on offense, maybe to pull out an ugly game. I'm sure the field will be like the worst field in the history of football, but by that time of year, they're probably playing a Steelers game like before and after on the same weekend somehow. That to me is kind of the one. You're coming off Navy. Maybe your ankles are sore from all the cut blocks. It's a super friendly schedule, man. Like if they run through the left half of this screen, they should be very fresh for the playoff run.
Yeah.
I don't know if it counts as a WTF game, but I'm low on USC, but if I'm wrong and USC is good, USC coming to South Bend in mid-October could be a problem for Notre Dame.
Yeah. Reminder: the last 2 WTF games Notre Dame had, both were at home against teams that nobody saw. Marshall and Northern Illinois. Like, that's where you try to pick one out, and it's going to be impossible because you're not able to see them 4. What were they, a 4-touchdown favorite against Northern Illinois?
Yes.
It's close. Maybe 3 touchdown.
Yeah, it was like 26.
Yeah, it was close to 4.
Yeah. So side under, not something I'm going to be planning on locking up. But speaking of, we've waited all this time. The people are clamoring for it. We've got a lot of locks to get into. First, our win totals, then our week 0. So I ask you, gentlemen, are you all ready to lock it up?
I am.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Since 2005, the under in games between service academies is 40-9-1.
We're picking locks.
Give me an over in this one as well. A little 2-for-1 special.
Don't get these locks.
I was a sicko last week. Y'all were watching the good games. I was live betting the hell out of ULM Kentucky.
My Blue Plate special 5-star locks are coming.
5-star master lock. Lock it
You
up.
love these locks.
I'm living and dying every point, every cover.
From the locking chair to your eyes and ears, we begin with our win totals locks. So first, we're going to go through our best bets from the power conferences. We've already done deep dives on a lot of these schedules, so maybe we can be a little bit quicker. Famous last words. And then we will get to some of the group of 6 win totals locks. Then again, remember, save time. We still need to do our week 0 locks and our Moneyline Sprinkles. So very excited about this. And we are very, very excited to let you know, listening at home and watching live, that Cover 3 locks are sponsored all season long by Cash App. Making money moves should be easy. And that's why there's Cash App. It's fast, safe, and honestly, way more personalized than the other apps out there. And our friends at Cash App, Danny, get ready for this. They are going to be providing us a trophy for the season-long winner. We have real hardware for the Cover 3 Locks competition, so that's what we're fighting for, a true Cover 3 Locks trophy, thanks to our friends at Cash App for sponsoring the locks all season long. All right.
You got a trophy?
I got a great spot for it right behind my little setup at home office. It's going to look great right next to the club championship trophies. Let's go.
We'll see.
Now I got to pick my real pick.
All right. So let's begin. Best bets from the power conferences. DK, I'll let you get. Board is wide open.
Yeah.
Let's give us one of your favorites.
I'll start right at the top. I'll go with the team I'm a believer in. Schedule is an absolute cakewalk. You can get plus money on this, plus 105. Penn State over 10.5 wins. It is a 2-game schedule that they have this year. One of them, Oregon at home. The other one, Ohio State on the road. Every other game, they're going to be significant favors in. They have a cakewalk in the non-conference schedule. They've got the leadership where I don't think they have that letdown game anywhere on the schedule. Give me over 10.5 for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
You got anything?
Anybody else on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of 3 potential Big Ten plays I'm bringing. I think I sent Mikey 19 potential win totals locks. I'm not planning on having all 19, but yes, Penn State over 10.5. I think that we are going to see a very intentional plan for a 16 to 17 game season. I think that they are going to be able to dominate, establish dominance, sit on the rock. I'm with you, Danny. I just don't see too many spots where they're going to get tripped up along the way. Too much maturity, too much experience. I will join you on that Penn State over 10.5. And like you mentioned, pricing here is really not bad. You can take this and I think I like this better than Penn State National Championship. I think I like this better than Penn State Big Ten Championship because that ultimately relies on the result of just one game. So yeah, give me that Penn State over 10.5 as my best bet for the Nittany Lions, who are my pick to win the title, but I wouldn't make it my best bet.
I don't hate that. I'm not joining you on it, but I certainly don't like. I'm not betting under.
Okay, Bud, why don't you go next?
Oregon under 10.5. I'm going to fade almost all these teams that have really high win totals that were also really high in the transfer portal ratings, just on my belief that the transfer portal was not as talented this year. So like being number one in the portal ratings this year is not the same as being number one in the portal ratings from prior year. So that's going to be a theme for quite a few of my picks here. So Oregon under, I think they have a lot of uncertainty there. I saw Feldman pick them to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I'm not going to go that far, but I certainly could see it happen. Oregon is one of the teams that I would have rather waited to bet an alternate under. If these books want to post some alt unders, that would be cool instead of this soft over only type stuff. But Oregon under for me.
Okay, well, I guess I get myself on the board here. We're going to stick in the Big Ten since that's where everybody's hanging out right now. Give me Wisconsin under 5.5. This is to me is a schedule play more than anything. Like if they get to a bowl game, it's a fantastic season, in my opinion, for the Badgers. I doubt that that's how the fans will feel, but just it is a murderer's row of games, particularly in the back half. If they're suffering any kind of injury at that point, like they're going to be just a dead team walking over the final few months of the season. And you've also got Alabama in September, so. Yeah, like I said when we discussed this team on yesterday's win total pod, I think Wisconsin will be a better team in 2025 than it was in 2024. I don't think it's going to make a damn difference in the record.
I mean, it was my pick yesterday on the pod. I just it tears me up inside. I can't do it. Can't do it. Oh yeah, Danny, have you ever done an F-16? We had a little Luke Fickle F-16 talk on yesterday's show. Have you jumped in a fighter?
Not. Okay. I have zero desire to do it too, because they definitely want to mess with you. And he said that. He's like, oh yeah, they're going to try to make you puke. The only way I would do it, and this is obviously impossible, if I could fly it. Like if I knew I was in control, like that's something big for me. I have to be in control, and then I think I could take some of the stuff. But with just having to relinquish that, sit in the back seat, and just hang on for dear life, zero desire to do it.
How many games this year?
Shout out our troops.
Yeah. How many games this year are Wisconsin players going to feel like they're flying in an F-16?
7.
Yeah, it's like
9 G-forces.
Yeah. It's certainly that third game of the season down in Tuscaloosa. Maybe we'll put it as a as the instead of a beard bet, get Danny in an F-16. We'll see.
They do have Homestead right not that far from me where I think they take off from.
It's a great option. I kind of like going, where we've settled going by conferences. Anybody who's got win totals in the Big Ten?
I have 2 more. I'll be quick about it. Like my thorough reasonings are displayed in our last 2 shows. I'm on Iowa under 7.5 and Minnesota over 7.5. I just feel like Minnesota has been a program that's been who it is for a while now and doesn't get enough credit for it. And I feel like Iowa's been going in a different direction for a few years now and doesn't get enough recognition for that. So that's what my thought process mostly is behind those.
That's interesting. I thought about Minnesota under Iowa. I'm not there. I mean, not that it matters, but I'm not really oppo on those.
You know what we haven't had yet?
A fight.
That's right.
Yeah, here comes Danny with his Iowa.
Let's go.
Fight.
You know how I feel about Kirk Ferentz. He's been just churning out 8 wins since the beginning of time. Now he's finally got a quarterback. You know my feelings about Mark Gronowski, who's healthy. He's back. I don't think he has to give you that much, but I think they're going to get a lot better quarterback play. I think that's the difference. Give me over at plus money too. Like it even better.
Let's go.
I could see that. I mean, if you told me like that kid's healthy all year, like I could totally make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, is it that crazy? Like
no.
If you think Michigan and Oregon are down, or what's more likely that you only get 2 Big Ten teams, or that somebody else rises up?
I I can't remember. I looked this up the other day and I cannot remember the exact number. So please do not hold me to these numbers. And I do think there are some linemen on this current team that will be drafted. But for there was a 10-year period where Iowa had 7 or 8 guys drafted in the NFL draft off their offensive line. And most of them were in the first 3 rounds. And 4 of them were first-round picks. In the last 4 years, they've had 2. And both were 7th-round picks. Just something to keep in mind.
I mean, listen, the kids, it's minute 21. Is it too early to get reckless? I mean, does Iowa need its problematic strength coach back? Is that the missing sauce here?
Yes, they do. But I mean,
but if the locker room's revolting, then kind of hard to keep that around. But if it's like somebody did a track of Oklahoma State's home winning percentage since they cracked down on the paddles. When it used to just be complete no holds bar with the paddles, it was still high. Then they decided to crack down on the paddles, and the Pokes haven't been winning as much. It's just something to keep an eye on.
That's what Gundy should publicly blame for any struggles that they have this year. It's the paddles. It's nothing I'm doing.
You mentioned if you think Oregon's down, if you think Michigan's down. Do we have any Michigan under 9.5 juice that falls within our go zone, or is it still too far juiced?
You could take the under 9.5 on Michigan if you want. It's fine.
All right. Yeah, then I'm taking that.
All right.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. There's 2.
Wait, add one more to it.
I have some plus money
more
stuff I'm taking too.
Yeah. Right. Add another one.
All right. You know what, Chip?
Oh my God.
To infinity.
Oh my. All right. Let's see which one this is. Is this one?
Do you?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh.
The world is about to feel something that they never felt before.
To infinity and beyond.
I'll let y'all know.
All right. We are an anti-Michigan pod. We are an asterisk pod.
9-3 is a great season.
9-3 will be a good season. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we're just what we're doing here is we're giving ourselves a nice 1-0 start. Everybody's starting 1-0.
I mean, you could be 2-2 before October.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go the rest of the way and not lose.
You could be 3-3 at the halfway point too.
Sticking in the Big Ten, what was the number that we were using for Rutgers?
5.5.
Let me see here.
I'll go under.
Let me double check. It might have been higher, but let me just double check for you. We used 5.5.
Yeah. So Ryder Langsdale, their transfer offensive tackle, who they were counting on, is out for the year. So Schiano previously talked about how difficult it would be to replace the guy they lost, and now the replacement is lost. So I don't think Rutgers is going to make a bowl, and I was already under on them, but seeing this news this morning, I'm going to go ahead and lock that up.
Not going to fight you on it.
I do want to say something else here on the Big Ten before we move on. I think UCLA is without their top 3 receivers right now. So the top guy is out until October. And then the reporters who are no longer allowed in practice because Foster got all weird about it, which I'm like, dude, really? Nobody's going to talk about UCLA if it's not these people. It's not like you guys have a big, fan base who's following without some of the media guys there. But they observed the receivers 2 and 3 not practicing and doing some rehab work off to the side on a different field. So I'm not going to turn around and bet under because I do think there are some really winnable games for UCLA. But, man, it does scare me that a lot of those winnable games happen in the first half of this year. So if you don't have those dudes, I don't think this defense is great. At Northwestern becomes an issue. At UNLV potentially becomes an issue if you're not real ready for that. I don't think New Mexico is an issue. Utah's probably a little bit less winnable if you don't have your top 3 targets. So that would scare me a little bit for sure. So before all that stuff came out, I was thinking about UCLA over UCLA for a bowl, and now I'm just kind of more neutral on that total.
Yeah, we're going to hang back. Yeah, vibes are not good.
Yeah, we're okay.
We're just going to sit back and hey, that's what do we like to say sometimes? Self-care Saturdays. Like we're just going to choose not to engage in that. That's just too much toxic negativity going on around that program. Let you get settled and hey, listen, we'll get a good feel. 11 p.m. Eastern time kickoff against Utah. Woo-wee. Gonna be a late one. We'll be live on the Cover 3 podcast. So it'll be a nice little second screen experience for you. One last question for the committee. Do I have a USC over 7.5 juice number that I can cash? Or not cash, hopefully cash, but
yeah, give me a second. I can find this.
Submit.
Yeah. I mean, what do we have here? A major domestic has what, 140?
Oh, so that's in the go zone.
I think that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna do USC over 7.5. And look, if we look at the Michigan USC game, like there's one spot where you could have a swing right there. Hearing some rough stuff about UCLA. Okay, maybe I'm a little less concerned about an upset, but overall, someone even with the eligibility updates that Bud was able to provide for us, I just think that this this offense is going to be clicking without any kind of confusion, without any kind of, wondering who's going to be there. I mean, how impressive. I mean, we talked about offensive line. How impressive was Elijah Page? Like just a second year guy, just really a lot of confidence. I like that quiet confidence. So give me USC over 7.5. All right. Any other big
on the stove again?
Yeah, of course. I'm ready to get my heart.
You saw the West Virginia kids got eligible.
Got in, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is going to go to the Supreme Court, I'm pretty sure. Like, we're not going to have these concurrent, conflicting federal court rulings all the way forever.
Oh, boy. I'm so
Super
glad we have
exciting.
Bud Elliott, Esquire. Okay. Coming up on the other side, more of our win totals, locks, and week 0 locks and more. Next.
Name's Conrad Harrigan, family man. And if you cross my family, well, you'd better pray.
Mobland, new series streaming March 30th on Paramount Plus.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast, rocking and rolling through our win totals locks. Let's keep it in the power conferences before we open up the board elsewhere. Tom, where would you like to go?
Let's see. We will go to your favorite conference, U3. We're going to go to the ACC, and I'm going to start with one that I've been pretty, adamant about since we started discussing all of this. I think it could be very, very bad. Nothing that's happened there in recent days has made me change my mind on this. Give me Cal under 5.5.
I don't hate that. I was looking for a way to play that, actually, with maybe like certain teams who play Cal to put it over the edge. Yeah.
Could be a rough year in Berkeley.
It's tough. The true freshman quarterback starting, we talked about this on yesterday's show. Is he actually going to be starting because he's good, or is it because Devin Brown can't play a lick? Maybe some of both. I think it's probably some of both. I'm not super high on Cal for sure.
Power struggle at the top. Ron Rivera, Justin Wilcox, who's running the show. This thing it could be a little bit off the rails, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not interested in
could be some divorce energy.
We've got some friends inside the Cal program, and yeah, I mean, don't change. We are for the people, right? So if that's what Tom believes is the good bet, and that's where we think you should go, then let it be known. But maybe we'll see. Let's see how the squad gets out there.
Do you want to fight me or something?
No.
I was going to say, you're coming at me with like Tom's going to be wrong energy here. Like, you've got some inside information.
No, I think we might have opportunities. I think we might have opportunities. We'll take that offline. We'll discuss it. We'll put a pin in it, circle back to it. What else in the ACC?
Louisville over 8.5 for me.
Like that.
I think they could win the league. Like they hung with they were physically better than Clemson last year on Clemson's home field. Like that game was not as close as the final score, which was like a 10-point Louisville win or 7 or whatever. Whatever the final score was, I don't think that game was as close as it was actually played out. They seem to like Miller Moss, who's like 24 years old. So Louisville kind of cashing in on one of the few opportunities to get one of these really old quarterbacks still in college football. Like the skill guys quite a bit. Think the offensive line should be okay, and the schedule is quite favorable. So, and Louisville did lose to Stanford. That is correct, Chad. And it does happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen this year, because if it do, I'm cooked. But I'm going to go over with Louisville.
Let the children sing on that one.
All right, on the cards.
I had it circled, was looking for the juice, didn't know if it was eligible, but since it is, Bud found it, I'll go ahead and jump on it. Isaac Brown is a stud. Jeff Brom's history of working with quarterbacks, maximizing the best. Miller Moss might not have been the best situation at USC towards the end, but I do remember him going toe-to-toe with Garrett Nussmeier in a win in that week 1 performance last year. I think he's got it in him. Like Bud said, veteran quarterback, brings some experience, some leadership. There, I trust him to go over too. I had him in my playoffs. It's kind of that dark horse, like kind of off the radar pick. So I've got him a pretty good chance too.
Like that. No pushback here. What else? What else in the ACC?
I've got one more. Give me SMU under 8.5. I mean, it's not totally out of line with what you guys are doing with Louisville. I feel like if Louisville is going to step up, somebody in the league's got to step down.
That's their third toughest game with Louisville. So yeah, if you think Louisville wins that, then SMU under makes sense.
So yeah, I think that they were a very good team last year. They deserve to be in the playoff. Just feel like it's going to be a little more different. They're not going to have as easy of a time. So let's leave it at that.
All right, Chip, are you not going over with Carolina?
It's 7.5.
Yeah.
We got 2 offensive linemen that are out right now.
I know.
I think one of them might be back for the TCU game. Obviously, Blaise.
Not the center, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking at this, man, I mean, this is the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Like UCF just announced Cam Fancher as its starting quarterback.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Carolina over 7.5.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Hey, guy, do you want to jump on it too?
I mean, I like TCU week 1, despite Sonny's week 1 troubles at times. But let's do it. Let's go Carolina over.
I think that they've got not just one, not just 2. I think they've got like 3 good running backs. Now, again, I just mentioned offensive line concerns. You need to block to be able to get out there and run the football. But Caleb Hood decided to stick around for a reason. Davion Goss decided to stick around for a reason. Remember, who did he play high school football with, Bud? Jeremiah Smith. Davion Goss. Yeah. Him, CJ Bailey, and Jeremiah Smith, all on that Chaminade Madonna prep team down in South Florida.
And I mean, think about how good the QB depth chart has to be, considering Ryan Brown left, and he's the starter at Purdue. So North Carolina's depth was so good that they've got P4 starters sitting on the bench having to transfer.
I mean, yeah. Okay, and a couple things scare me here, just to argue against my own point. Gio gets hurt a lot and is constantly dinged up. So, and he doesn't really protect his body very well. So we'll have to kind of figure that out. But if I was to say, how many of the bottom quarter of P5 teams or P4 teams do they play? And so that would mean like the bottom 18 or so teams in the P4.
6.
Like 5 or 6 of them, yeah.
Very confidently, Wake, Stanford, Cal, Virginia, or Cuse almost certainly is going to be bottom quarter of the P4. I doubt both of them hit.
Virginia continues to fall apart. I don't know what is happening right there. I mean, it's a mash unit right now.
I mean, it's not crazy to think that UNC could be favored in 10 games?
Well, I was going to say
maybe 9, maybe 8.
Yeah, but
They're
Duke
certainly favored in 6 unless something really weird happens injury-wise.
We'll check in on Duke and State when all 3 of those teams, North Carolina included, get to the end of the season. You know, all of those very much toss-up games. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 5 or 6 games in a row. After they just need. There's going to be because it is a team full of transfers. Because there's just more than 70 new players in general. I actually don't think I like week off before Clemson, week off after Clemson. This North Carolina football team, again, heavily transfer built, is going to have like 6 weeks between playing in front of their home fans. You know? Or no, excuse me, winning in front of their home fans. Like expecting that they're going to lose to Clemson and that would be, I mean, who knows? In Mac's first year, North Carolina came in and gave Clemson all they could handle in that 2019 season. Remember, it was like 21-19. Sam Howell goes for a 2-point conversion, or 21-20, 2-point conversion to try to win. So there will be some interesting rhythms to the season where they will need some injury luck, and they will need all of the vibes to be able to stay high within that locker room, just because there's going to be so much time that's going to be off. But if they can hit the ground running later in the year, then yeah, I agree with you. Favored in a lot of those. Let's go Tar Heels over 7.5. And I think I'm good on ACC.
Yeah, I am as well. I wanted to kind of go just I picking like which of the bad teams is going to be extra bad to me is a difficult challenge. I think if you're able to bucket them and then you identify which team plays a lot of those, that team is Carolina.
Yep.
Second place in that is Pitt.
Can I get a Georgia Tech over 7.5?
Yeah, absolutely.
Won't allow it.
That is your guy. Absolutely.
Yeah. Brent Key, offensive line coach. Haynes King coming back. I think he's one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the country. If he does get banged up, which he did last year, I think they feel better about Philo coming in for him because he had to get a little bit of playing time last year as well. I think the schedule is manageable. I like this team. I'm going to go over.
I like that.
I don't hate that. Well, I assume if you're playing that, you also have a Big 12 bet you like.
Well, let's go to the Big 12. Danny, do you want to jump in on Colorado?
No, I don't want to beat down Colorado anymore. I would lean towards the under. I do think it's going to be a more of a rebuild year, but I do have that chalked up as one of Georgia Tech's wins.
Here, let me double check my pricing on this. I had, I know because the Big 12 win totals were ones we did the longest ago. Yeah, man. Why am I Arizona under 5.5? What's the positivity for? What am I missing?
Last year was a year. Okay, if you really want to argue against it, like last year was a strange year, right? If you're going under with Arizona, you're basically betting that Oklahoma State is bouncing back to at least some kind of normal level for them, which is very possible. BYU falls apart without Retzlaff.
Wait. If you're betting Arizona under. Betting over.
If you're betting under, then you're saying these things aren't happening.
Yeah, I don't think BYU falls apart without Retzlaff. I think that odds suggest Oklahoma State is going to revert somewhere closer to the middle. I look around when I was doing the random number generator that is the Big 12, the chaotic pressure cooker. I just kept finding that Arizona was the team where other middle of the pack teams were going to be finding their wins. So I think it's going to be tough. I think they are an underdog in a lot of games, and I don't have enough X factors for me to think that they're going to be pulling upsets.
I mean, I'm not locking it up with you, but for me, it boils down to just you were that bad last year when you had Tetero and McMillan, and now you don't. You've lost Taco Davis, who's probably your best corner, to Washington, so he's gone too. Just, I don't know how that team's really going to be better, but when you're in the Big 12 kind of stew, anything can happen, I suppose.
Yep.
You locked it up,
only have.
Yeah, I'm locking up Arizona under 5.5.
I'm on that as well.
All right.
All right.
I don't know how enthusiastic they are about Brent Brennan, but I think they might be in a market for a new coach after this season as well. Not great vibes out there.
No.
Nope. All right, what else in the Big 12?
I only have one Big 12 play, and we kind of touched on it not too long ago. Give me UCF under 5.5.
Yeah.
I feel like this could be a year zero-y kind of situation for the Knights.
I think UCF is playing the long game, and so like this is not slighting the staff they just hired, but I don't think that they're really ready to win. I was somewhat willing to believe Cam Fancher at FAU as okay, but this is a pretty big step up in competition from FAU to the Big 12. So I'm going to go ahead and join you there on the under 5.5 for the Knights.
BYU over 6.5. I think that defense brings back a lot. Going back and doing they luck boxed their way to the maybe first place in the Big 12 standings, and we've had a lot of agreement and disagreement about what Jake Retzlaff is and isn't. I think that ultimately my greatest interest was just as a fun talking point, fun story. But yeah, this is Bear Bachmeier steps in. But the reason why I think BYU was up at the top of the conference last year, a lot of those reasons are still there. So yeah, I'll go BYU over 6.5. They can get to 7.5.
You got a quarterback wearing 47, so you made your bet. Don't lie in it.
I got a couple more in this conference.
All right, let it rip.
I'm going Kansas State under 8.5. I think it's hard to replace all the offensive linemen who they had to replace. I think that game in Dublin is certainly not a lock. I'm going to go ahead and go Colorado, by the way, under 5.5 as well. 6.5 was much better earlier in the offseason. I don't love what I've been reading out of their practices. So, we'll see. Could be wrong on those. Certainly, I just feel a little more confident in picking some unders in this league than I do in figuring out who's actually going to be the champion.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I'm good on Big 12.
Same.
All right.
Yep. Oh, no, one more.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm taking the last Texas Tech under 9 out there that has reasonable juice. Just under the fading the transfer portal stuff.
Also, they lost Joyner, like a really good running back.
Yep.
To season-ending injury. That's tough. I hear Joey McGuire will be quick to remind you that they've got a loaded room with a lot of good guys who played well in a bowl game.
Other Big 12 GMs do not agree with that.
I just said, I hear that's what Joey McGuire will tell you. That is the only thing that I've presented to the group, but I'm glad that you were able to provide the counter. All right. Coming up on the other side, we turn our attention to the SEC, the Group of 6, and our Week 0 locks and more. Next.
Get ready.
Wait a second. I thought we were going tubing.
All 3 Sonic the Hedgehog movies and Knuckles are now streaming on Paramount Plus.
And everyone loves it.
Every adventure.
Just try to keep up.
Every face-off.
This ends now.
And every moment that will have you saying,
Where have you been? My entire life!
It's showtime!
All 3 Sonic the Hedgehog movies and the entire Sonic universe are now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast in just a little bit, we'll be giving you our locks for Week 0, but that does not mean that there's not time to sign up for our official Cover 3 college football pick'em brought to you by Splash. That will lock with Week 1. And if you're watching us on YouTube at youtube.com/cover3, there's a QR code in the upper corner that will get you the opportunity to go and sign up. You are competing against us. You are competing against the Cover 3 tailgate. Picks are due prior to the kickoff of each game. And then on Saturdays, every Saturday game locks at noon Eastern time. So if you want to get in on some of the Thursday games or the Friday games in Week 1, those games are eligible for the Cover 3 college football pick'em on Splash. If you want to get something for Saturday, get that pick in by noon Eastern time on Saturday. We will be tracking this all season long, but even better yet, thanks to our friends at Splash, we've got real cash prizes for the top finishers in the pool. Once again, that is the Cover 3 college football pick'em, which you can find on Splash. 6 picks every week, 1 lock that is worth 2 times the value. And again, you can find the link for that in the description of this podcast on YouTube, or hit that QR code that Tom is pointing to right now. Our thanks to our friends at Splash for a partnership that we look forward to tracking all season long. All right, Danny, your favorite conference, the Southeastern Conference. Win total. What do we all unders? 16 unders?
Not quite. I do have a couple of unders though.
Okay.
I saw, I don't know who did it, but they had a mathematical equation for Auburn that said, if you had the amount of different quarterbacks that could be playing, because he said 3, and if you had the number of play callers, which was 3, and you mixed them all up, like how many different combinations could you have on any given time in an Auburn game? I don't know what the final tally was, but it's
27?
a lot. Is that all it could be? I thought it could be higher.
3 to the third, 27 different combinations?
We're doing permutations or combinations.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. My education's, I'm out.
In any case, we've talked a lot about it. I'm not loving what I'm hearing from Hugh Freeze and his ability to try to build up Jackson Arnold's confidence. We've heard that story before with a couple other quarterbacks thinking that they possibly could, that's all you need was a little more confidence. Not going to be easy going on the road. I've got Auburn plus money under 7.5 wins.
I really want to join you. I'm just liking the schedule a lot. Like I bet you they hit on a lot of their portal pieces. Has anybody heard an actual like, hey, we feel like we hit on Jackson?
No,
because I haven't either. Like that's the one. It's like, and we speculated about this all off season, right? We said, hey, like Auburn's been executing this plan of high school, get the elite talent there, fix your misses in the portal, load up the money cannon for this 2025 season. It's like, oh shit, this is the crop of players available in the transfer portal. Damn it. Okay. We're going to have to make this thing work. I assume Jackson Arnold will be the guy. I don't know that he'll be the guy all year. They paid a lot of money to Deuce Knight. They also took the Stanford kid. So at Ashton Daniels, this schedule's just favorable. I mean, Kentucky, Arkansas, Missouri. I don't know that you have a real quarterback disadvantage in that A&M game. Yeah, I'm not going to go under, but I'm a little concerned about the Arnold stuff for sure.
Tom, are you in?
I'm not locking it up, no. But my Jackson Arnold confidence has just spent the entire offseason being shaken.
My Jackson Arnold confidence is you've been shaken.
My level of confidence in Jackson Arnold has been shaken all offseason with every new thing I hear coming out of that program.
Yeah. Why? It's just a long string of why did I see this or why did I hear this? Like, Danny, remember we were saying, like, why'd you say it?
Right.
Like, why? Hugh, this is the 10 minutes the media are watching. Why are you throwing your visor down and losing your mind because Jackson Arnold won't get rid of the ball? Yeah. You understand how this clip is going to fly?
You know why? Because that plays with the fans. He's out there coaching them hard. He cares. He's not just thinking about his golf game.
Why does the chat think I hate Marcel Reed?
Because you do.
You do.
No, I just don't think he's a top quarterback in the SEC or anything special. I think he's just a jack.
You, as Auburn, as Texas A&M was collapsing in the back half of the season after starting November with a 7-1 record, you routinely showed up to this unprecedented college football platform, and you said, we've talked to a lot of guys who played Marcel Reed. They don't think he sees the field. And you offered that, and that is a sharp criticism. Not unfair if that's, what they're saying, but it is a sharp criticism.
Okay, I think Marcel Reed is going pro in something other than sports. I'm not convinced that he's A&M's long-term starter.
He's a good actor. I saw him with Terry Crews doing they had a little local Sonic ad campaign. It was called like the Terry Crews School of Acting. They had Reuben Owens. They had Marcel Reed. They had Ryan Wingo. No Arch Manning. Obviously, he's in a different stratosphere of the NIL commercials. But Marcel Reed had a good appearance. I'll give it to him.
He's fine. Just I think with what you lost on the D-line, you may need him to be more than fine.
Who was this commercial for?
Sonic.
Oh, and Arch Manning's like McDonald's money.
It's like wait, do you guys have Sonic in Chicago?
Yes.
Okay. Sonic has good ice.
Oh, great. Yes.
Great ice.
That's nice.
Sonic crushed ice, which makes the different flavor. Never mind. Yo, pay us, Sonic.
Yeah, right.
Before I start going any deeper on this. Okay, what else in? Again, I'm sure. Are we Unity on over by October? I mean,
I'm on. Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's do it.
The world is about to feel something that they never felt before.
To infinity and beyond.
I'll let y'all know.
That's Vanderbilt, by the way, for those who don't
For the
catch
haters.
Yeah, for the haters out there.
Over by right, because I don't know if I gave the emphatic agreement, but I will. I'm a good teammate.
Danny's been pressured into it. Danny
As long
is
as
here
this
against his will.
is actually just like calf soreness and we're not hiding something like bigger here, then yeah.
God, calf soreness. Nothing more like.
We don't have as good like of terms in football. Like baseball, like forearm tightness is like, okay, I'm gonna cut this pitcher on my fantasy team immediately.
He's
That
done
means
for
he's
the
had
year.
Tommy John. Like, yeah.
Okay, and what about? Does anybody want to join me on a Kentucky under 4.5?
No.
Kind of, but no.
Okay. I mean,
Like, are they that much worse than they were last year?
well, the same thing that they were last year, still under.
Man has a point.
They did play what, Georgia tight, and or was that 2 years ago they played Georgia tight?
Or
And
did
they beat Ole
Georgia
Miss.
play them tight?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they did beat Ole Miss.
Or did Ole Miss beat itself?
I guess more teams lose games than win them, Chip.
I think Toledo could get them, but it would not be crazy to think that Kentucky finds a way to be, flirting with bowl eligibility in the final weekend. Like, they play enough of these teams that we're a little bit iffy on, or like the potential outcome band is pretty wide. Like if Aguilar can hit some of these deep shots for Tennessee, Tennessee should beat them. If Aguilar sucks, then that's a game. It's in Kroger, right? Like, what if South Carolina doesn't have actual receivers? I mean, Nick Harbor, receiver one, that's like potentially scary in two directions. If he actually hits and plays like a receiver one, that's scary as hell for the opponents. If he actually just plays like he's been playing his entire career, that should be super scary for Gamecock fans. Do we have any idea what Florida's going to look like?
Dude, but think about, let's just break it down. Think about the bodies that you play going Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Auburn, Florida. And with a thin team that's like rebuilt the roster.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not arguing against your lock. But instead of sweating out Kentucky all year, I've already placed it. I would rather just do our Toledo Southern Miss parlay.
What if Miller Moss sucks and Louisville's defense does not replace the guys that they lost?
Well, that's my bet because I think that Louisville is going to be good. I agree with that analysis. Yeah. So, yeah, I get Kentucky under 4.5. They got to watch out, man. They're going to get UNC is going to come to the SEC and be the new Kentucky. You're like really excited about winning 8 games and then being really good in basketball.
I do have an SEC one.
Okay.
Arkansas under 5.5. I was debating which of these teams that I think are like non-competitive to go with, and Arkansas lost a lot in the portal. I'm not really convinced that they're spending, and I'm just not. I posted something on Twitter the other day. A player my team should not let have walk in the portal and meaning like should have paid up for to keep, really should have fought to keep. And I'll give this guy a shout. Arkansas Quant had a list of 8 guys. And I was like, not just ones for this year, I meant. And he goes, dude, these are all this year. And I didn't even mention Haas or Kudus, the 2 highest rated transfers. So I don't know that Pittman's getting that Calipari money right now. I'm going to go under on Arkansas 5.5. I think they're more kind of 5 and 7, 4 and 8 range. I'm not like the quarterback. I thought Petrino was actually excellent last year.
Yeah, I know. I think Taylor Green's really a good player, and there's just too much going on that one. I need to do a temperature check mid-season to see where we're at with.
Also, the one D lineman, was it OKE? I don't know how to pronounce the kid's name, who they were very high on, got hurt in camp. And it's not like Arkansas is rolling out a bunch of studs on the D line.
We don't have any picks on the board from sort of that top tier, the 3 top favorites. So I will jump in on that.
Oh, Tom does.
Oh, okay. No, Chip's going. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
What?
No, go.
Have you already put it on the dock?
No, I was just go for it, buddy. I cut you off, and I didn't mean to. I apologize.
Did you put something in the?
No, nothing's in the dock. Make your pick, damn it.
Oh, Alabama over 9.5. I think Alabama's going to win the SEC, so this is a little bit correlated here. I think that the offense is. I mean, the shade that has been tossed by the way of even Ryan Grubb saying like, I think that this offense is going to be a lot better when you can throw the ball consistently. Yikes! You might not. I mean, man might not be wrong, but I think that is a big boost there. Ty Simpson doesn't need to be the fastest player on the football team. He doesn't need to be a game breaker. He just needs to deliver the ball on time to super gifted skill players. I love the way they're built at the line of scrimmage. And my bold prediction, which I offered for CBSSports.com and then last night on CBS Sports HQ, is I think Alabama has a top 5 scoring defense in the country. I think that this is like a big snapback to form from where they were in the like mid-teens kind of time in terms of Alabama's defense leading the way.
Yeah, not locking it up with you, but I do feel like the greatest sign of Alabama is going to have a good season is I've seen so much Alabama on Twitter about how everybody's saying that this team stinks and everybody just thinks that Alabama sucks now because Saban's gone. And I haven't seen that anywhere, but Alabama fans have convinced themselves that it's true. So they're about to have a really good season. So I don't hate that play at all. But along the same lines as you, I have a different team I picked to win the SEC this year. And I am taking their over. Give me LSU over 8.5. It's just about time for the Tigers to bounce back. Ed O wants to get back on the sidelines. He's doing the media tour, fixing that reputation to get back out there. Oh, the Gumbos are going. So, yeah, I like LSU over 8.5. And then one more.
Hold on.
Oh, uh-oh.
Let's fight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the Oakland going to get
Fight.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm fading all these highly rated transfer portal classes that have these win totals at 9 and 8.5 and 10.5, I can't not take LSU. I am concerned about their offensive line. They sent 4 offensive line starters to the Senior Bowl. And maybe you can tell me their O-line getting whipped in practice so far this fall camp as a result of their defensive line being better. I think it's possible. Possible that it is. But it's also possible that maybe they didn't hit on all these O-linemen they took. This is probably the one that I'm like the least confident in, by the way. I wanted to fight Tom. Looking at, and I don't even love Clemson. Like Clemson, for all these NFL talent, allegedly, they still lost every decent team they played last year. So maybe they'll lose to LSU as well. But like at Ole Miss could be tricky. South Carolina is not terrible. At Vandy, I could see a Brian Kelly team dropping that one potentially if they're not focused. A&M, maybe Marcel Reed proves me wrong and goes into Death Valley and gets the dub. At Bama's really tough. At Oklahoma, I think I had Oklahoma in one of my model runs made the playoff. So I don't think OU will be quitting by that point in the season. I see 8-4.
I swore at Chip and Bud's media like, now hold on a second, young man. I will defend Chip's honor. My final SEC pick is, I mean, they already hate me. Mizzou under 6.5. I just they lost both their tackles. They have a quarterback where they brought in Bo Pribula in the portal for a reason, because they wanted him to be the starter. And the fact that we're at this point of camp and now like Eli's talking about how both will play in the opener against Central Arkansas, which is not completely weird because you would hope that if you're playing Central Arkansas, that your backups are playing a lot of minutes in the second half of the game. But the fact that that's the plan going in and Pribula has not been able to separate from himself in that battle, to me, is a red flag. I think the defense could be very good. I just don't know if the offense is going to score enough points.
Alpha nerds out here reading finite mathematics, trying to tell you about how 2 quarterbacks is actually having more than one. Yeah.
There's a reason Eli wants 35 teams in the playoff.
Okay, so I thought about this too. I'm just questioning, like, do we think they need the quarterback to play well to go 7-5 with this gift of a schedule?
They don't think that. The bet is that they are misguided in terms of how limited they will be and the problems that will cause.
I think where this goes wrong is if the O-line is like goes wrong for Missouri and goes very right for Tom, is if the O-line is not as good as they think it is, and thus the run game is not there to bail them out. I do think the defense will be pretty good. I mean, switching Winery really for Wilson, I think is a massive upgrade to that D-line.
I agree. But
you
got to score
in this
points.
year's SEC, you got to score points.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the chat, I think I would take Marcel Reed over Jackson Arnold. Yeah. I just haven't heard anything good about Arnold yet. So.
All right. Any other SEC?
I got an over.
Oh,
what?
An SEC over?
Look at this homer.
Oklahoma is going to be 5-0 to start the season before Red River. I know they got shellacked last year. I'm buying a little bit of the John Mateer hype that's coming out. I love the fact that he's coming with Ben Arbuckle, his offensive coordinator. I thought Jaden Ott was one of the better gets this offseason. When he became available, they snatched him up. I do think their defense, and I like this better with Brent Venables kind of calling the shots there on the defense side of the ball. They might have one of the better defenses in the SEC. That travels. So if they can go 5-0 to start off, can they get 3 more wins? I think they can. Where is it? Could be Ole Miss at home. Could be Tennessee on the road. We just talked about Mizzou. I think they can win that game, and I don't think LSU. I wanted to take Tom out back and just kick the crap out of him, jump on with Bud on that LSU under, but I didn't. But I do think some of those other teams, you might see a little regression. I think Oklahoma is back over 7.5 wins.
Chip hiding behind his thugs.
This is one that I just feel like directionally I don't disagree, but in the course of like 6 weeks, this has moved from 6.5 minus 50 to the over to 7.5 even. That's too much for me. Like I having them have to win 8 is tough because I think if they win 9, they're in the playoff.
Oof. Yeah, depending on who the 9 wins are.
I mean, if Michigan can go at least 8-4, that's a win over a top 4 or top 5 Big Ten team. And one of the few real interconference matchups this year. So for bragging rights, that would matter for the committee. I mean, if you can go 9-3, I think you're very likely to playoff.
Yep. There are very few teams that I'm gonna put there at the 9-3 will get you really in the mix. But
just Florida and Oklahoma, right?
Those are the first 2 that come to mind for sure.
There may be one more. Kelly Ford, our friend, did something on this, and I thought he was basically off by a win, and I respect Kelly a bunch, but like he was saying Arkansas, Florida, Mississippi State, and Vandy would be in the playoff at large discussion at 8-4.
Yeah, you got to remember Kelly does a good job of couching it by just saying like would have a debate, like could be up there in the top 16 of our rankings.
I think if you just slide it up a win, this actually matches up really well.
Yeah. Shout out to Kelly. I know he's a fan. We are a fan of his. All right. Now we got to take it off the board. We just spent some time in the power conferences, but we try to give you the analysis, the winners, the information from all across the entire FBS landscape. Got a handful of possibilities here myself. Let's see what we want to tack on to the card. Tom, why don't you get us started?
All right. Let's see. I've got 2 from the now G6 leagues that I'm very, very, very high on. One is an over, and it is in line with one I took last year when I took New Mexico's over 2.5 because I bought the Bronco bump, and now I am once again buying the Bronco bump. Give me Utah State over 4.5. That's right. Oh, look, Tom and Chip made up.
You guys are so nice again.
Yeah, I know. We just can't quit each other.
This is there is a top tier in the Mountain West. And then there are a lot of other teams that can all beat each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got an opportunity with Bronco to be able to have enough of an edge to go out there and get 2 conference wins. And that should push us out to where we need to be. 2 or 3 conference wins. I've got here, let me check the price on this. So I'm going to go Air Force over 6.5.
Okay.
Okay. So did you know that Air Force still has a JV football team?
I don't think I did know that.
And that because of the just sort of the cycles and the rotations and where they were at, squad last year was like, man, if our young guys were a little bit older, maybe these varsity guys would be on the JV team. I'm hearing good buzz about how that JV team was looking. I think that we're going to see a big return to form for Air Force and Troy Calhoun.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes, Tom.
Who was the JV team looking good against?
I mean, listen, do you understand how many JUCOs they got out there in that part of the country?
It's like I don't know what that schedule looks like. So,
all right.
So I actually had that one on my board too.
I mean,
I did not have many G5 plays. There's a huge gap. Boise State and everybody else in the Mountain West. Somebody has to rise. Lock it up. Let the children sing.
Yeah!
Troy Calhoun's my guy. They've only had one other time since he's been at the helm in 18 years where they've had back-to-back 5-win seasons. They're not going to be bad again. They're going to be in the mix. Give me over as well.
It is funny to talk about the JV team, but the truth of it is that the pipelines, like essentially they're like, look, we're going to be better. There are more talented players that are going to be coming up next. And so, I mean, this Air Force is not a team that throws the true freshmen out there. You ain't got no Bryce Underwoods on Air Force's football team. So yeah, you sometimes you'll have a down year, but if you feel good about the talent that's coming up, then let's go.
I just needed everybody to understand that Chip's taking the Air Force over because the JV team looked good.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. New guy. What's his name?
Taft.
Taft. That's probably a short. The JV team is, yeah.
Hey, so in the tailgate, apparently the Air Force JV team plays today at 5 p.m. against Cheyenne Mountain.
Give me Cheyenne Mountain in the points.
Give me Cheyenne Mountain because they lost.
JV team's been raided by the varsity squad. They got nothing left.
All right. What else? What else in the G6s?
I have one more, but Bud, do you have any?
Yeah, I've got a couple. All right. So yesterday I put on Twitter that this guy could probably score points as the head coach of the Island of Misfit Toys. And I mean that. Dan Mullen's a G5 coach if I've ever seen one. And I'm going to go take UNLV over. I do think like UCLA not having those receivers could be a meaningful thing when they go play UNLV because you have to score some points somehow. And I'm going to go ahead and take UNLV over 9. What do we have here?
I can get you 8.5.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I like 8.5 better than 9, obviously. Damn it. What was my number on USF that I had here? I'm going to go over 6.5 with USF. Now, the non-con is not super friendly, but I'm telling you guys, that Boise game is not like a lock for Boise. USF could get them. I think USF has some really interesting pieces on that football team who could be difference makers if they can stay healthy, maybe minimize some of the offensive line depth issues with the scheme. They lost their quarterback last year, who I thought was a pretty damn good player. So, I mean, maybe not amazing. Maybe I was too high on him given the fact that like USF did keep him, and it was not a good quarterback transfer market. So if he had the ability to transfer and didn't, maybe that speaks to me being incorrect about my evaluation of the kid. But I don't think he sucks for sure. And then this one is kind of sick. But
you want some music?
Yeah.
All right.
It's time for sicko mode. Let's go. I'm a little bit lower on some of the teams in the bottom of the Sun Belt. If things go wrong, they could be like UMass UConn.
That's kind of like sicko mode of a sicko mode.
Most books are offering this. So we're going to go to the Sun Belt. And I thought about fading JMU because I just don't know about these teams that have these 8.5, 9s in these P5 leagues unless they have a lot of like NFL talent, not just talent coming back. We're going to go Georgia State over 3.5 wins. I just think that's too low for a team that has a couple guys who I know some teams kind of kicked around last year to see if they would enter the transfer portal, and for whatever reason they didn't. My guess, I'm not going to name them here because I don't want to give them a bad reputation. My guess, they probably didn't have credits to transfer, and so maybe Georgia State's got a little more talent on that football team than some of the metrics might show you. So Georgia State over 3.5. I think they can get to 4.
How about
I know our friend Robbie Callan is going to be thrilled to find out that his Panthers are over 3.5. He's got something to look forward to. And if they beat Vandy again, that's certainly going to help him get there.
I mean, look, the opener to this is brutal. I mean, you go Ole Miss, Memphis, Murray State, which could get them, by the way, which would be scary. Vandy, you do play James Madison, you play App, you're at Georgia Southern, you play South, you're at Coastal, you play Marshall, which I think is very much in the running for the worst team in the belt, with Monroe obviously accepted. You play Troy, and you play Old Dominion. I'm just not convinced that there's that big of a difference between most of these Sun Belt rosters.
Anybody want to bet on food?
No.
I think this is was a great bet. This did get bet a lot.
So what was it, 2.5 before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's still possible. I'm telling you guys, if we want to adopt a team this year, we might want to adopt Rice.
Yeah.
They're running like Chip. You live up there. Did you ever watch Davidson?
My dad went to Davidson.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, tell everybody they're running some really cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's like triple option. It's like old Chip Kelly, Oregon. It's fast. It's up tempo. It's get you off balance. It's run the football. Scott Abel is a good coach. Davidson annually was able to overcome their size disadvantage to everyone. I mean, like everyone. And they were doing it by spreading you out, finding the good lanes, and hitting explosive plays. So Chase Jenkins is going to be their starting quarterback. The options were not going to wow anybody here at present company or in the tailgate, but 3.5 is a low number for an offense that I do think could be just enough of a change of pace, a really tough prep. I'll just go ahead and still take it. I'll go Rice over 3.5. Let me add another one here. Coastal Carolina under 5.5.
Because they lost the quarterback.
Emmett Brown goes down with the season-ending injury. Was supposed to be the starter there for Coastal. Life is tough in the Sun Belt East, one of the last conferences that still does divisions. I think the East is a lot tougher than the West, and Coastal could find itself on the short end, especially with depth being a kind of a concern for the Chants are at right now.
I'll give Brendan McCarthy in the chat a little shout out. I do think that Temple over 4.5 is worth a look. I'm not going to lock it up, but when I was not the 4.5, the over 3.5 is what it is. But I was looking, I was like, all right, Temple might be okay.
They are writing the op-eds about shutting down the program in the Philadelphia Inquirer. So
they are.
Vibes are a little bit difficult as we take the temperature there. Okay, so got my Air Force, got my Rice. You should say, yeah, I'm good. I'm tapped out.
Danny, you go ahead.
I'm going to go. I love this coach. I think he's really good. I don't like fading this program, but they've got a lot to recover from. Give me under for Tulane, 8.5 wins. They're losing a lot of their better players. That's what's happening. You're kind of seeing this trend. The better group of 5 teams, they're having trouble. They lost their running back to Oregon. They lost their quarterback to Duke. And if you look at their roster, it's a ton of transfers coming in. The schedule, I do think they have 2 non-conference games. They're most likely going to lose Duke and Ole Miss. The American, I think, is pretty competitive there. So the 4 quarterbacks, it looks like Retzlaff's probably going to be the guy. He gets there late. It's not a great room when you look at options to pick from there. I think they're going to be an 8-win team or worse.
Don't hate it.
Schedule's not easy.
The schedule's not easy. Not my prediction, but I get where you're coming from on that one for sure. All right. Anything else?
One more.
Okay.
Hold on, my mouse is crapping out. I'm here. For those who aren't aware, there are 2 new teams at the FBS level this year.
Delaware
and Missouri State. And I hate the entire damn state of Missouri. St. Louis sucks. The Arch is stupid. Provel on pizza. What the hell are you even doing? Missouri State under 4.5.
I mean,
I just think it could be a rough welcome.
Rough transition year.
I think Delaware could be good, and I think Missouri State could be really bad.
Ooh, I like that as a call.
Okay.
All right. Final call, then we're going to do recap. Then we still got to get to week 0 locks. Okay.
Yeah,
and week 0 Moneyline Sprinkles. Okay. Let's throw that recap on the screen. Oh, and it looks glorious. For our win totals locks, Bud has Michigan under 9.5, Vanderbilt over 4.5, Oregon under 10.5, Rutgers under 5.5, Louisville over 8.5, North Carolina over 7.5, UCF under 5.5, Kansas State under 8.5, LSU under 8.5, Texas Tech under 9.5, Arkansas under 5.5, Colorado under 5.5, UNLV over 8.5, USF over 6.5, Georgia State over 3.5. I've got Michigan under 9.5, Vanderbilt over 4.5, Penn State over 10.5, USC over 7.5, BYU over 6.5, North Carolina over 7.5, Arizona under 5.5, Kentucky under 4.5, Alabama over 9.5, Air Force over 6.5, Utah State over 4.5, Rice over 3.5, Coastal under 5.5. Danny's locked on. Michigan under 9.5, Vanderbilt over 4.5, Penn State over 10.5, Iowa over 7.5, Louisville over 8.5, Georgia Tech over 7.5, Arizona under 5.5, Auburn under 7.5, Oklahoma over 7.5, Air Force over 6.5, Tulane under 8.5. And Tom's got Michigan under 9.5, Vanderbilt over 4.5, Wisconsin under 5.5, Iowa under 7.5, Minnesota over 7.5, Cal under 5.5, UCF under 5.5, SMU under 8.5, LSU over 8.5, Missouri under 6.5, Utah State over 4.5, Missouri State under 4.5. All right, now we got to turn our attention to week 0. Okay, here we go. This is it. Still sponsored by Cash App. The very first week of our season-long competition for the locks. Game number 1, Iowa State, Kansas State. It is the Our Lingus Classic in Dublin. Woo! I'm looking at it now. Kansas State minus 3.5. I know this thing's been 4, 3, 3.5. Over under around 50.5. Who's got a lock?
I do.
Okay.
First half under. Iowa State loses a lot of weapons at receiver. I do think they trust Rocco Beck, but I don't think they will come out firing the ball all over the yard. We know they have a lot of offensive line uncertainty. On the injury report, I saw one of their starting guards is out for the game as well. We see the Kansas State injury report there. Some very interesting things I've been reading from Go Power Cat, which is like the dead nuts on Kansas State stuff. And Tim does a great job on their premium board. So I don't want to spoil all that, but if you're a Kansas State fan and you're not over there, I don't really know what the hell you're doing. They have some defensive linemen who were flashing in camp who were out. They also have Fitzpatrick, the tackle who they took, who was expected to start before he had a medical incident. I mentioned this on the show a couple weeks ago. And they kind of no timetable given for his return, but he is still listed as out as well. That's a pretty big deal because the Wildcats lost 4 offensive line starters from last year. So I could see them feeling their way into this a bit. Now, Matt Wells is the OC. Obviously, he was at Texas Tech, and he does like to go real fast. So I don't know how fast Chris Kleiman will let him go. I will note, though, that Iowa State has faced Matt Wells before because they've been there so long with Matt Campbell and running this defense that remember, Matt Wells was the head coach at Texas Tech. So they've seen this attack before. We might just ease into this game a little bit. That's my thought.
Yeah, Bud, you and I were discussing this before. There were 24.5, 25.5. That move doesn't change anything, but you never know. With 2-point conversions, we'll take every point that we can get. The way that, very simply, Iowa State, as I see it, has gotten less explosive on offense and healthier on defense. They were kind of ravaged by injuries down the stretch last year. But because they had 2 1,000-yard future NFL draft pick wide receivers and a good quarterback in Rocco Becht, they were able to win some of those games. So as I see Iowa State maybe being a little bit of a lower scoring team on both sides of the ball, the fact of the familiarity, how about both these defensive coordinators have gone up against each other? I mean, this is the Farmageddon rivalry. So I think that the success will be had for both teams running the football, which again is like strength on strength, weakness on weakness. Like if Iowa State had Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, we'd be like, look at that Kansas State secondary. Oh my gosh, those wide receivers are gonna feast. But they don't have those guys out there. So yeah, ease into it is a great way to put it. I am also on the under 25.5.
Danny, do you have anything on this game?
Yeah, I do. You guys can start slow all you want. I'm starting with a strong finish. Kansas State laying 3. Give me the Wildcats. I think Avery Johnson, you mentioned the offensive line issues. They may be the case, but Avery Johnson is an incredible athlete. He can help mask some of those issues early. I still think they're going to be a really good team. Potentially winning the Big 12. It starts off in Ireland with a big win. I'll lay the field goal.
Let the children sing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Big 12 game. Nobody really knows, but my gut here is Iowa State will have a very difficult time replacing 2 NFL receivers, which could give them problems on offense, which could make it difficult for them. And I think that offensively, yeah, Kansas State's got questions on its offensive line, but it also has Avery Johnson and Dylan Edwards, who are going to be in an RPO game, and they're going to be forcing defenses to pick one or the other. And whichever one they don't take is fully capable of finding a lane and going 80 yards on every single snap. So Kansas State -3.
Seeing some comments in the tailgate. I'm with y'all in general. I think Kansas State is my pick to win this game. I am unfortunately in multiple places on CBSSports.com in a fade Iowa State position, which is not fair, but it's how it goes. Some commentary in the tailgate about that first half total, Bud. So 25.5. I'm seeing that -122 at FanDuel. Questions about 24, 24.5. You and I both liked it at 24.5 as well. I mean, basically anything in that range is still green light go, right?
Yeah, for me.
Okay, cool. Same thing. All right, let's keep it moving. We've got anybody going to make a play on UNLV, Idaho State?
I am.
Let's go.
Idaho State first half +14.5.
Ooh.
I think that, listen, it's an entirely new roster. All right. Like the defense that was very good last year for them, considering their level, contextualized, is pretty much all left and gone with Barry Odom to Purdue. Those guys are gone. I don't know what this defense is going to look like. I like that a lot of the guys that Dan Mullen has brought in, but it's the very first game for a defense that has never played with each other in an actual game. On offense, there is the plan to use both the Whoopsie Daisy King and Alex Orji, who are both going to be operating under different offenses because you can't run the same offense with those two guys. They're different players. And I think that could lead to some confusion early. So I just think first half wise, we could see some speed bumps for UNLV while they figure things out. So give me Idaho State +14.5 in the first half.
Anybody else got anything here?
No, I did not bet this game.
This is a so I will say in the last 7 matchups against FBS competition, Idaho State is 5-2 to the under. If you want to take that. Okay, keeping it moving. Next game, how about Kansas hosting Fresno State? I got one. Anybody else jumping in on this one?
No, but are you going to lay it?
I'm going to lay it in the first half. I think that the place will be rocking. They are hyped about this new stadium. It looks sweet. They spent all last year as nomads. They were in an MLS stadium. They were in Arrowhead. They had to, go away from home while hundreds of millions of dollars were being invested in improving that stadium. I watched the drone footage. I watched the hype videos. I think that this is going to be a lot of excitement. And the fact that it is in this standalone spot against a quality opponent should bring out the best from Rock Chalk. So the other side of it would be that Fresno State under Matt Entz is going to be going through a little bit of a transition. I mean, just fundamentally, there's going to be the way they play, the way that they approach the game. I think that it might take a little bit of time. I respect the Fresno State program and Matt Entz as a coach to think that over the course of, they get in for halftime, they clean up some stuff, that maybe they might come out and be frisky in the second half. So I just want to deal with a rocking atmosphere in Booth Stadium, in the booth, and in Kansas. And by the way, Tom mentioned this yesterday. How about Jalen Daniels? You actually get him before he's been hurt. Knock on wood. Still got a few days on that one. But Kansas gets off to a hot start. I'll go Kansas in the first half. I think I just saw this tick up to 7.5. And you know what? I'll still take it at 7.5.
I could still get you a 7.
I'll take a 7.
I'm gonna sit back and watch this for a little bit, and if I miss the window, I miss the window. I want to kind of see exactly how Fresno is going to play defense.
Right. Hey, you want to play Remember Some Dudes like UNLV? Tom, who'd we find on the Fresno State depth chart for Remember Some Dudes?
Justin Flo.
No, that was for UNLV for Fresno State. Former USC.
Yeah, it's Corey Stringer, the
Corey
former
Foreman.
5-star or Foreman. Yeah, the former 5-star who is now a backup at Fresno State.
Yeah, edge rush specialist, I would bet, is the way that they've got him positioned there as the former 5-star continues his career. Anybody else on Kansas Fresno?
I am.
Okay.
Give me Kansas minus 12.5. I don't need the first. I think just the full game is fine.
Western Kentucky, Sam Houston.
Yeah, under 61.5 here. I do not really like the quarterback reports that are coming out of Sam Houston.
How so?
They're still talking about how 3 guys are strongly in contention for the job. So what are the odds that Sam Houston has 3 guys who can actually play?
Okay.
What was the line? I couldn't hear you.
61.5.
Okay. Over or under?
Under.
Okay.
Obviously, tempo scares me quite a bit, given that Phil Longo is the head coach at Sam Houston. He likes to push it, but yeah, I'm not. I'm definitely not in love with what I've been reading.
And Mac McKeever is starting at Western, right?
Isn't it MacGyver?
MacGyver?
Mac MacGyver? Yeah.
Got it. He's like 29 years old, something along those lines.
He's older. I don't know the exact age, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go under here.
All right. And then Stanford, Hawaii. You're not touching it?
I'll take Stanford. Give me the points.
Ooh. Doesn't this feel a little weird?
Yes.
Like last year, or was it last year or 2 years ago, a lot of us had Hawaii, had like a bunch of closing line value, maybe like a touchdown worth or close to it. Does Hawaii close as a favorite in that game or just a small dog? Maybe we were catching 10 and it closed to it, whatever it closed. And then Stanford's athletes just looked in no way from the same planet as Hawaii's guys. I was like, oh, yeah, Stanford sucks by P4 standards, but it's still like they're still P4 guys. They're still getting paid to play.
Understandable.
Are they?
We'll see.
I mean, I'm sure Stanford's a rev share team, right?
I mean, as in they are sharing.
They might be going to the swimming team, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I would be curious how much they're actually.
I mean, just
actually paying.
Hawaii 11-3-1 against the spread in its last 15 season openers. I will throw them bows.
Fight.
Yeah.
Fight.
Well, as I will be fair, a lot of those are like covering as a 27-point underdog, right? but one of the three is Vanderbilt blasting them into the sun, like 63-10. So we've got some variance here, but
there's only so many games that Stanford can be competitive in, as evidenced by their 3.5 win total. This is one I think you're going to get their best effort.
Yep. All right, let's review what we've got on the board for week 0. Bud is on Iowa State, Kansas State, first half under 25.5, and the Sam Houston, Western Kentucky under 61.5. Chip's got Iowa State, Kansas State, first half under 25.5, Hawaii -2, and Kansas first half -7. Danny's on Kansas State -3. It's Stanford +2.5. Tom's got Kansas State -3, Idaho State first half +14.5, and Kansas -12.5. That was the locks, sponsored by Cash App. As you heard me say at the top of the show, new Cash App users can use our code to get free money. Just use our code COVER3, then send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 right into your account. A big thank you for Cash App. And this Moneyline Sprinkles segment is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook, make every moment more. All right, week 0 Moneyline Sprinkles. What's going to be on the board? You say 3 quarterbacks is a bad sign. I say you got a lot of options for year 1. Throw me down for my first sprinkle of the season. The Bearcats with the K plus 320.
I think I can get you better than that. Yeah, I can get you 330, bud.
Let's go.
I'll take Stanford plus 120.
Okay, hold on here.
Same. Let the children sing on that one.
Ooh, yeah. And yay.
All right. I mean, is it bad form if I don't have a single one for this first block spot of the I just the only money line I would really be all that interested in taking is one where I've taken Kansas State -3.
Right. Then you'd be jumping on Iowa State.
So
yeah,
I don't want to just force one.
That's
but
fair.
If you guys are like, it's not within the spirit.
It's open the year. Oh, okay.
So you're going to abstain from this one?
I don't have a sprinkle this week. No.
Okay. That's
and
fine.
You know what? I'll be honest too. The last 2 seasons, I have killed myself in the first 3 weeks of the season because I've gotten way too aggressive and I've been spraying the board too much. And now that there's a trophy on the line, a legitimate trophy, I'm taking a more conservative approach to these first few weeks of the season.
Listen, all that matters is that we're giving you the sprinkles that win. And that Moneyline Sprinkles segment was brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook, make every moment more. Bud on Stanford, Chip on Sam Houston, Danny on Stanford. We got a full set of locks for the week. Woo! Boys, it feels good. Feels good to be back. Blood was pumping so much, I just had to walk around the block. Just had to leave, just get a little sunshine and fresh air. Just too fired up. We are here, a matter of sort of getting everybody on the same page. Monday, we'll have a very appropriate upon further review based on what we had coming out of the weekend, but also one of our favorite activities heading into week 1, our game draft. We are going to be drafting some of our favorite week 1 games on Monday. Then on Tuesday, CBS Sports Network, you can find us at noon Eastern time. We'll be giving you a look ahead at week 1 in the Big Ten, breaking down some of the biggest games. Then more big game breakdown coming on Wednesday. Thursday is your week 1 locks, and then next Saturday, our instant reaction show at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. It is here, and we are fired up to spend this season with you. So you can follow him on Twitter at Tom Fornelli. You can follow him at Bud Elliott 3. You can follow him at Danny Kanell. You can follow me at Chip _Patterson. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.